The Kugler Alm is a beer garden located outside of Munich, Germany. It's quite popular amongst bikers who come from the city for a day of drinking and merriment. And back in 1922, the Kugler Arm was owned by a man named Franz Kugler, who is believed to have invented the Radler, or the bicycle beer. How did he do it? Well, he did it on a very hot summer day when he ran short of beer and decided to dilute it with barrels of lemonade. The Radler was born. And another name for the Radler is a Shandy, which brings us to the beer we're drinking today. Because, God, it feels like summer. We're drinking Summer Shandy from Leinenkugels. All right, folks, it is me, the Nick. And today I'm joined by a very special guest, a return guest, my brother, Zach. How you doing,
How's it
Zach?
going? Oh, not too bad. Yourself?
Oh, I'm doing well. I got a summer shandy in hand and family on the phone. I can't get enough of having family on the phone. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, it depends
How
on the
often
family.
you calling home? Yeah, how often you calling home these days?
Well, if I don't call at least every other day, they get worried about me. So I gotta try and keep it at that.
Okay,
interval.
so it's their benefit.
Right.
Gotcha. See, I'm down to I call 3 people once a week. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays are family afternoons.
I've noted that I'm not one of those people.
No, you're not. No, you're not. But we talk other times. But anyway, cheers from 2,000
Cheers.
miles away. Zach is currently in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I am in Seattle. And Zach is filling in this week because Mr. Joe Glock is back in Wisconsin for the week. So we had to record an episode, and here we sit. We called Zach in from the bullpen, and we'll see how he performs here in the bottom
Got
of the
the
night.
old cannon warmed up. I've been listening to every episode since I was a guest host, and I think I'm ready to go.
Yeah, are they upward trending, these episodes, or downward trending, in your opinion, quality-wise?
Well, we got peaks and valleys. I mean, we had the episode that shan't be named. That I had a little trouble getting behind that one, but otherwise It's been pretty good.
Okay.
I've enjoyed it.
Okay, thank you. We're going to come back strong today with Leinenkugel Summer Shandy. For those
Can't
who
go
don't,
wrong with the Leinies.
that's right. For those who don't know, this is a beer that's basically mixed with lemonade, and it makes for a very refreshing summer drink. I have a nice little write-up here from vinepair.com. Vinepair is actually a friend of the studio, so go check out vinepair.com. Anyway, it says they are a big fan of the Shandy. It's the perfect compromise between hydration and intoxication. A Shandy is technically a beer cocktail comprised of a good brew and fruit juice. Shandies are perfect for the summertime, especially for hikes and long days in the sun. The juice will prevent you from getting faint, while the beer, which is typically low in alcohol, will make life just a little bit rosier. And indeed, this beer is low in alcohol. It is only 4.2% alcohol by volume. And good Lord, does it go down smooth.
Yes, it does.
All right, I'm going to pour mine into a glass. I want to see what she looks like here. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to keep drinking it out of the bottle the way Jacob Leinenkugel intended.
That's right. Here's to Jake and John and the whole Leinenkugel gang.
That's right. They've got somebody else on the commercials now, but I haven't
That's
seen
right.
enough of them to know who
Remember
it
you
is.
told me about that. You don't know?
No,
Cousin or
I
something?
yeah, it's a woman. I don't know, and she's a Leinenkugel, so I don't know
Okay.
if it's like a sister or what it is, but I have not seen the commercial enough times to pick it up. I usually catch it during the Brewer games when I'm watching them, but I just have not seen it enough times to know for sure.
Sure. Thanks for that hard-hitting reporting there.
You're welcome.
Speaking of Brewer games, this is a great beer if you're tailgating perhaps at a baseball game.
Absolutely. This is one of my go-tos if I'm tailgating at the Brewer games.
Mm-hmm. And you can't drink too many of them. You can have like 1 or 2.
Oh, but I'll try.
You'll try. Fair enough. To me, they get, the sweetness gets to me a little bit if I'm trying to put down a whole 6er of them.
Yeah, I do recall the last time I had a full 6er tailgating, and yeah, the taste in the mouth is definitely something you need to drink something else to get rid of.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to mix it up.
But I mean, you go to the tailgate at the Brewer games to get pissed up during the tailgate, and then you sober up during the game.
Sure. So, well, you're not going to go in and pay $12 for a Miller Lite. You can't do that.
You can get cans of Shandy at the game for $9.
Oh yeah, are those pints or are they just 12 ounces? Do you know?
I think they're the pints. They're the taller ones.
Okay, well that's.
But it's still expensive.
I was going to say I just paid, I think $10 for a 6-pack at my local grocery store.
You guys are getting ripped off out there on the West Coast.
I know, having to ship it out here. I think up the price a little. What is yours?
I paid $7.
Oh, mama. Yeah, that's the premium we pay here. But I'll tell you what, I got a nice little story about the whole purchasing process. And you were following along this afternoon as we were trying to coordinate what time we were doing this. So at the studio today, the podcast studio, I was working in there around noon. And all of a sudden, all the lights went out. Boom. The router shut off. I didn't have internet. Didn't have anything. It was pitch black in the basement. And this is not the first time this has happened. So I was like, oh, here we go again. Somebody ran their SUV into another transformer and blew out the entire electricity on the block, because that's what happened last time. But no, this time they were just rewiring something in the building and something blew up in the electrical room, which is not great. And apparently the electrician was in there when it happened. He's okay. I checked it out. Don't double check that, please. Take my word for it. So anyway, I was worried that the studio wasn't going to be ready for us to record when we wanted to. But then I went back down there to get all my stuff and boom, the lights came on. And so I was like, all right, we're in business, about an hour away from recording time. And then I went to the local QFC, 2 blocks up from the studio, all sold out of summer Shandy. They had 1 6-pack of grapefruit Shandy left. And I said, I'm not falling for that trick. Have you had grapefruit Shandy, by the way?
I have. I like grapefruit Shandy better than I like summer Shandy.
Oh, really? Okay. Maybe I haven't even had it then.
If you can get it on tap anywhere, it is phenomenal.
Nice. Okay. So anyway, no luck at QFC. Then I went up to the local liquor store, also 2 blocks from the studio, but 4 blocks from the
store. I hardly know her store.
Yeah, good stuff. They didn't have it. Surprise, surprise. So then I called an audible, said, I live right above a grocery store and I'm going to go home and we'll record it. And I can look out into the sunlight while we're recording and enjoy the summer Shandy the way it's meant to be. And It all worked out. I went into the Safeway. The stocker guy was putting beers in there. I came in, grabbed my summer Shandy. He's like, excellent choice. And I said, isn't it the perfect summer beverage? And he said, hell yeah. And then I walked away. It was a beautiful interaction among 2 very manly men. Manly man. Leslie man.
Men.
Men, manly man. Ooh.
Men.
Okay, we'll cut that out.
Yep.
Anyway, that's the story of how I got here. And thank you for giving me the floor for 8 minutes so I could say it. Now I know what it feels like to be Joey Glock on a podcast.
Yeah, there you go. But no, I agree with what you said about enjoying this, staring out into the sun. I've got the shades open in my apartment too, watching the sunset over the horizon.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great beer. It's going down real quick. I just realized that I'm almost done with my first one already.
Yeah, I told you, because you said you had 2 chambered up next to you.
I might have to go get a third.
Okay. And I said, I think I'm only going to do 1 because I'm going to try to get a workout in after this. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen now.
I'm doing beer bottle curls.
Oh, okay. Those are, yeah. That'll get you some kind of wrist definition. Yeah. Right. Okay, so moving on from that sick burn I had on Joey, hope he's seething while listening to this. I'm going to read a little description also from VinePair. This is on that summer or the Shandy list they did. They said the aftertaste on this Shandy is superb. Plenty of wheat and malt accentuate the classic lemon flavor. Leinenkugels won't taste like pure juice either. Instead, you'll get a hint of egg flavor, like you're enjoying a fluffy lemon meringue. You could even enjoy the Shandy as a light breakfast beer. Get the griddle ready for pancakes, omelets, and serve up chilled glasses of Leinenkugel's summer Shandy. Now, that's what we call a healthy start to the day. Well, that's nice. Do you get a lemon meringue out of this?
I didn't until you said that. And then I was like, you know what? I can taste that a little bit.
I was going to say that almost rings true. I've never put my finger on that before, but it is a hint of egg flavor. I never would have pulled that on my own, but
Hey, that's why you're the expert.
oh, I'm the expert. Okay.
You're the cold can.
Thanks to our friends at VinePair. What you got the packaging next to you, right? What kind of copy do we have on this Leinenkugel Summer Shandy packaging?
So one thing that I was looking for, because they used to do this, is they used to have a short description on the neck of the bottle, but it doesn't look like they do that anymore. So the only copy on the packaging itself is it says limited release Summer Shandy. It's a Weiss beer with natural lemonade flavor. That's all it says about the beer. And then on the bottom, they've got a nice description of the Leinenkugel's brewery itself. If you don't mind, I'm going to read it, and then I think it can segue into a topic that we kind of talked about going over on this episode.
Oh, I like a little transition. Let's do it.
So the copy is, since 1867, 6 generations of the Leinenkugel family have brewed beer in Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, also known as the Northwoods. It is here among the wooded hillsides, numerous lakes, and swift-flowing rivers that our family found a special place to brew our authentic beers using the finest ingredients and time-honored traditions. The Northwoods have long been known as Indian Head Country, so named because it was thought that the St. Croix River, the boundary between Wisconsin and Minnesota, formed the profile of a Native American. It is for this reason that Jacob Leinenkugel chose the image of a Native American woman to grace the label of his beers, to pay homage to the local people and their home. The next time you're in our neck of the woods, come visit us at our brewery and the Leinie Lodge. Signed, the Leinenkugel family.
Nice. I never really thought about that they have a Native American woman as their logo.
Yep.
And they don't make any other references to Native Americans, really.
No, I mean, other than just being in the Chippewa Falls area, which is known to be a Native American, or it's got a lot of reservations.
Well, I mean, Chippewa, alone is an Indian tribe. That's okay. That's cool, actually. And this seems like a more classy way to do the homage to Native Americans than, say, like the Cleveland Indians or something. Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
What did you want to transition into?
So we talked briefly through text message about talking about summer.
Oh yeah,
it's a great summer.
Doesn't
beer.
it feel like summer?
It does.
It feels like summer.
Yeah, it feels like summer to me.
To me,
yeah, it feels like summer.
Okay. Go check out Weezer's "Feels Like Summer."
Yes. If you're looking for some strange lyrics, go check out
any Weezer song.
That's true. But anyway, we before we started recording, I talked about how the one thing that I haven't done is gone to the Leinie's Lodge. I have not been there yet. And I'm actually going to see most of our cousins in Minnesota this weekend to go see the Brewers play the Twins at Target Field. And for years, we've been talking about, kind of meeting there as a halfway point and going to the Leinie's Lodge and stuff. And I think that I'm going to set myself a goal for this summer that I want to do that at some point.
Okay.
I've been a big Leinie's boy for a long time, and I figure I need to get there. That's like my mecca.
Yeah. Leinie's your bus, baby. I like that. So what, tell the listeners what the Leinie's Lodge is.
The Leinie's Lodge is basically, that's a great question.
It can't be captured. It can't be captured by mere words, folks.
It's basically like it's a bar that's attached to their brewery. I mean, you can do the brewery tour similar to what you can do with Miller or any of the other big ones, I'm sure, or even the microbrews. And then you just hang out at the lodge, and it's basically a big bar and a gift shop from what I've read of it. I haven't been there personally, obviously, hence my goal for the summer. But I've heard good things about it from people that have gone. And I just think that as a loyal Leinenkugel's liaison, I should go there.
I like it. You're getting the listeners all wet with that alliteration. Okay, well, pricing $10 gets you a tour and 5-ounce samples, 25 ounces of beer, and a complimentary glass. That's not bad at all. Or Or
The
you
only
can
thing
get,
they need to include in that is an Uber ride home.
yeah, right. Or a lack of police presence.
Yeah. Well, it is the Northwoods.
Yeah,
I,
that's
I
true.
lived there for 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the Northwoods like, Zach? Tell us about the Northwoods.
It's peaceful. There's not a lot going on. It's a little bit
Okay.
like Hazard County. Everything moves a little bit slower. Unless, of course, your name is Duke.
Okay. We're not going on that route. Um, yeah. Okay. Well, the Liney's Lodge, it says Jacob Leinenkugel built his lake house just north of Chippewa Falls, where he was able to enjoy his refreshing brews surrounded by friends and family. And now the spirit of his Liney Lodge lives on. It's more than a place, it's a mindset, and you can be part of it. Join us out here. Open Sunday through Wednesday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can get there at 10 a.m. on a weekday
That's right.
and get your 25 ounces
take a
of beer
day
in
off
you.
of work.
Yeah. All right, that's cool. Get to the Liney Lodge. We're going to follow up with this if Cold Cans is still living on. We will follow up and put
Hey,
your.
you got to get to 100 episodes.
We'll put your Heine on blast if you don't go to Liney. That's right. I said it.
I like that. A little accountability.
Yes.
Otherwise,
Okay.
I'd probably never do it.
Yeah. If others are not validating my actions, I will never do anything.
Yeah, if you don't post it on social media, did it really happen?
Who's to say? Okay, let's go to the
It
Beer
did.
Advocate score. Did it? Okay, Beer Advocate score 3.17 out of 5. Or okay, pretty harsh, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten the impression of that the Beer Advocate scores are kind of a conglomerate of a bunch of beer snobs that only like they're the hipsters, they're the beer hipsters. That they only like the stuff that
Right.
isn't mainstream.
Right, and I think we've seen that throughout our run on this podcast. Is that similar to any review? Anyone who's leaving a review on Beer Advocate is just someone who, you're right, is a snob, but also has something to complain about. You know, so they come on here. Here's one from user Love to Ride. That's LOVE, the number 2, and then RIDE. On April 2nd of this year, he said, the lemon flavoring they put in this is a disaster. Reminds me of the smell of lemon floor cleaner. I cannot enjoy drinking this beer. Reminds me of some artificial lemon flavored chicken wings I had one time. Nobody wanted to eat them. Likewise, I don't see how anyone would want to drink this beer. 2.48 out of 5.
Okay, for how scathing of that review, he still gave it a fairly decent score.
Yeah.
That's like, almost 50%.
Right. You'd think that would mean like drinkable, but you wouldn't pick it up.
Right. But
they're saying it tastes like floor cleaner.
Right. I do agree with him on some of those points. Like there are some bottles of Shandy where you pop it open, you start drinking it, and it does feel like you're drinking something that you shouldn't be.
It's true.
I've had that, especially if you leave it sit for a while. Like if you bought the summer Shandy in July and you're not drinking it till January, it's not going to taste very good.
Yes. So maybe the cans, because as it's been well documented, beer keeps better in cans than bottles. Maybe the cans would be better, but I've only seen this in bottles, but you said they have cans at like Miller Park.
Oh yeah, they have the tall boy cans at Miller Park. You can also get the Shandy sampler is only available in cans.
Oh, right. So maybe that holds a little better, but I do agree. I've had summer Shandies that taste a bit off.
I mean, for a similar type beer, I really like Shock Tops. I forget what theirs is called, but it's basically the same thing. I wish I could think of what it is, but I think it's lemon something.
Yeah, lemon shandy. They call it.
Okay,
lemon shandy.
Yeah, that one I feel like. I mean, I guess I've never left a Shock Top lemon shandy sit as long as I have let a summer Shandy sit. Okay. But those have historically been better than summer Shandies to me. But
well, the Beer Advocate folks say 2.83 out of 5 are poor for the lemon shandy from Shock Top.
I guess what do I know?
Nothing. All right, let's talk. Let's get into a little summer family action. What's a memory you have from summertime? It can be family related or not, but what do you think of when you think of summer besides the greatest rock band to ever grace the earth, Weezer?
Mostly for me, it's baseball.
Yeah.
The 2 years that I spent in the Northwoods, I coached JV baseball at the school there, and it was a blast. And this year, I've been following the Brewers like it's my job, and I just love it. I went to one game already. Just said I'm going to another one. I have a Google Keep list of games that I want to go to.
Nice.
I'm excited about the talent that the Brewers have this year. I think they could be a real contender for the playoffs. And I just love baseball. When I meet people that say they don't like baseball, I have a similar reaction as if they were to tell me that they didn't like dogs.
Sure. Yeah, that's a similar crowd too. It's like appreciating sure, dogs shit everywhere and shed hair, and sure, baseball games take 3.5 hours and you're baking in the sun. But
right.
If you just look at the subtleties, it's much better.
Two of the most fun games I've ever been to were games that I just sweat my ass off watching the game. I went to one last year that was a game against the Cubs that we won in extra innings. And I posted a picture to my Facebook that I caught myself on the broadcast during Arcia's home run in the 9th to tie it. And you could see me using the foul pole as shade. Because
be honest with the listeners. Did the foul pole shade completely cover you?
It did. It's a big foul
pole. Okay. That's thick with 2 C's.
But the ball from his home run landed where my ticket said I was supposed to be sitting. Nice. But it was so hot that the section was essentially empty. I went with a whole bus of people. I think I was the only one that stayed in the seats the whole game because everybody else needed to get up in the shade. But eventually the foul pole shade got me, and I just kept following it as the sun would move.
Nice.
But that was a fun game. And then Travis Shaw hits a walk-off home run in the 10th to win it. And especially against the Cubs, that's awesome. And then one of the other games I went to with one of my good friends that I don't get to see very often anymore, but we always try to get to a Brewer game. And it was
Let's come up with a nickname for him. What's a nickname?
Papa P.
Papa P. Okay.
And we were at a game. This is probably like 5 years ago now, but it was against
Papa Pia.
Yeah, that's okay. Right. It was against the Giants, and we won on a suicide squeeze. And that was one of the most fun games too. But again, it was hot as hell. I sweat my ass off. Probably lost like 5 pounds in water weight. But I mean, I love baseball. I can't get enough of baseball.
I agree. But baseball's great. I found myself getting back into baseball more. For a while, I was like, it's boring. I don't want to sit there and watch it all day. But as like a passive activity, to have a ball game on in the background while you're doing something else is a great joy in life. And as we've talked about before, Bob Uecker, the legendary Brewers radio man, it is like if you can have that on in the background while you're doing something, it's so peaceful.
Yeah, I pay $20 a year for the MLB At Bat app just so I can listen to him.
Okay, Mr. Rockefeller.
Hey, when you're making that public school money.
Yeah. All right. That's a great summer thing. I concur. Baseball's great. Yeah. Let's go to the rankings, huh?
Sounds good.
I think this is in wild card territory, and I have a particular spot I think it should go. Do you have the rankings up on your end, Zach?
I don't, but I can get them.
Get them. Punch it in. Hack the system and get on colecanspodcast.com/rankings. Now, I think this is towards the bottom end of wild card, just above mild card, and I'm putting it right around a beer that you and I shared, the Great Lakes Christmas Ale at number 20. I think it can go somewhere between there and Fremont Parkland Pils at number 17. So it goes Fremont Parkland Pils, 18 is Samuel Adams Boston Lager, 19 is Stella Artois, and 20 is Great Lakes Christmas Ale. I would be comfortable putting it below Stella Artois to be our new number 20 beer. What do you think?
I'd be fine with that too. I think my last appearance on here, I made clear that I don't like when the guest helps rank the beer. But
I almost got you. I almost felt you right that trap, you hypocrite. You didn't do it, though.
But I have had Stella Artois. I have had Sam Adams Boston Lager. My personal taste, I like this better than both of those, but I'm completely okay with it falling anywhere in there. I actually thought that you'd rank it a lot lower than that, to be honest.
A lot lower, okay. No, I like this, and in terms of, obviously it's a seasonal beer. I'm not going to drink this in the middle of winter, but by the same account, I'm not going to drink Great Lakes Christmas Ale during the summer. You know, that's a 7.5% alcohol beer.
That's heavy.
Winter warmer. It's a heavy. So I think I like it around Stella Artois, which I think is a year-round beer. Boston Lager is a year-round beer. Parkland Pils is arguably a summer or spring beer, but that's fine. Let's put it in at number 20, right below Stella Artois, as we wrap up the show here. Going to bring in the high-quality music. Thank you for being on the show today, Zach. You filled in wonderfully. Me. You closed it out, and you're going to get the save on the score sheet. All right, folks, that's been Summer Shandy from Leinenkugels. I hope you have a great summer.
Hey, take care, everyone.